Hi, I'm Kim Hassack, and I'm excited to talk to you about the impact of hearing loss on the development of speech and language. Most young children acquire spoken language skills as a natural part of early development. The first several years of a child's life are typically filled with consistent exposure to environmental sounds and conversational language. These first few years are the critical language period in which children are beginning to acquire early communication skills. So children must have access to speech and language in order to learn speech and language. Preschoolers have typically been exposed to as many as 46 million words by the time they are 4 years old. But what does that mean for a young child with a hearing loss? Generally, it means that their lack of access during this critical period will result in difficulty developing speech skills as well as delays in acquiring typical expressive and receptive language. Additionally, these children are also at risk for further developmental and academic challenges. I've grouped these into 3 areas for you. The first is the age of onset of hearing loss, as well as the diagnosis of that loss. The earlier the hearing loss occurs in the child's life, the more critical language time is lost. However, the earlier the hearing loss is identified and supported, the better the outcome. Also important is the degree and type of hearing loss. Basically, the more significant the loss, the more significant the impact on speech and language development. Next is the issue of use of amplification, such as hearing aids or cochlear implants. The earlier that amplification is utilized, the less significant the speech and language impact may be. The consistency with which amplification is used also has an impact. Of course, it's important to point out that even when utilizing hearing aids or cochlear implant processors, it still does not mean that the child has normal hearing. Amplification also cannot fully compensate for the time lost during those early years of language development. So what does this mean in the classroom? Well, overall, a student's hearing loss will limit the child's auditory access to instruction. This is especially true within a busy classroom setting due to background noise and distance from the person speaking. Students often miss critical information and incidental learning opportunities. Hearing aids, cochlear implants, even the use of an FM system can increase access, but their use does not erase the impact of the hearing loss or the subsequent language delays. Speech and language issues will also impact overall communication in the classroom. This could include comprehension of new concepts, difficulty asking and answering questions, and problems working in a small group or participating in class discussions. Also, due to limited access during that critical language period, many students demonstrate deficits with regard to grammar, vocabulary, basic concepts, and background knowledge. This can significantly impact reading and writing ability, as well as overall comprehension of new concepts. As language continues to develop, approximately 80% of new words are learned because children hear them used in context. These are the incidental learning opportunities that our students with hearing loss will often miss. Clearly, it's important for everyone to understand the educational impact of early speech and language delays and why classroom accommodations are so important for students with hearing loss.